Alright. So Dante is speaking. Oh, let me not phase through the earth. Spooky Lean or Spooky Leanne? Dante, standing at 6'2" with an aura that commands attention. His naturally white hair contrasts with his youthful visage. With piercing green eyes that hold a depth of experience, he exudes a magnetic allure. I like it. Okay. He exudes a magnetic allure. All right, I'll go for my best magnetic allure voice. August Villick, you've been enlisted with the Armada for quite some time. For this reason, the Armada has seen it fit to progress you along the ranks, befitting your time and experience with the Armada and Balian. You are hereby promoted to the rank of Bombarder. Woo, go! August Villick, yeah! August returns the salute given by Dante, a grin appearing on his face. Thank you, sir. This is cool. Lots of military RP on the server. Alright, nerdy, of course. Adrian clasped his hands behind his back, looking down to August with a smile, remaining silent due to his respect for the Admiral's work, but giving a congratulatory nod. You may fall back into the formation alongside your fellow Marines, Bombarder Villick. Knight of the Rosa says, don't believe anything Adrian tells you. He doesn't even live in Adria. Yeah, and Blue Jay, Lurin may not be stinky, but it is laggy. That city makes me lag, my computer lag real hard. I don't know what Vi's supposed to sound like. That's this thing about LOTC, which it works to their credit. I mean, you're probably right, Mr. Damaris. Because I'm supposed to interpret all these phonetics. Vi, as in Vi, like the Russian Vi, right? Or V? Is it V? I don't know. I wouldn't know. You're now staring at me. I see you staring at me. Master Monkey, you got your panda. Congratulations. You actually got your pants. Your pants. You actually got your pants, Master Monkey. W's in the chat for Master Monkey's pants and their panda. W's in the chat. It's great. Good job. You got a panda. I think I need to change one more thing about this. All right, not much else has happened except Dante says, next is our... He looked down the page. Let's try that again. Our bombarders. Why is that hard to say? Our bombarders. Azia, step forth from the formation. Head librarian Azia, hope I'm saying that right, stepped forward, snapping into salute. As the Templar stepped in the Armada Hall, Ephraim moved to the back, eyes placed on his own son that was about to be raised. Was already raised, but he's just late. Alright, Nerdocalypse, I'll stay here for a while and then teleport over to you. The little Haverlock girl would sneak out of the meeting, waving to the Villa kids. Dante says, Azia, it is with great honor and recognition that I hereby promote you to the esteemed rank of Master Bombardier. Dante declared, his voice filled with pride. You're on wait. Oh, he, yeah, re-emotes, okay. Your unwavering commitment and unyielding determination within our ranks has not gone unnoticed. You've proven yourself to be one of the mightiest warriors and an innovative member of our Marine Corps. Okay, so, Mr. Damaris, you wanted me to try to say this. And did you say this was Dwarvish? Reuben offered a small dip of his head to the sneaking Haverlock, but kept his stance straight in his spot, a slight grin on his features as he listened still. Ozia smiled up at Dante. Graza, Fleet Admiral, she said. Sir Damien de Salia snaps into a salute to Master Bombardier Ozia. Dante bows his head. The honor is mine to have such a dedicated Marine and friend. Congratulations. This promotion is most deserved. You may fall back into the ranks, Marine Ozia. Ozia swallowed, her eyes glistening with emotion, then snapped into a salute. She then fell back into the ranks. Cool. Dante says, lastly, we welcome a new Marine into the officer corps. His gaze turned to Annette. Master Bombarder, Annette Roel, please step forth from the ranks. Annette stepped forward, offering a swift salute to Dante. Sir Damien de Salia snaps into a salute to the newly appointed ensign, Annette Roel. Ooh. Master Bombarder Annette Roel, it's time for you to step forward and claim your well-deserved place among the officers. You are hereby promoted to the rank of ensign. Ooh, congratulations. Okay. Annette pursed her lips to a thin line, withholding a faint smile from herself. I thank you kindly, Fleet Admiral, she spoke, bobbing her head once in thanks. All right, and a lot of salutes. Thank you, Ryan Urk. All right, let's teleport over to Nerdocalypse now. Oh, we're back in, we're back near Lurin. Okay. All right, making me work. All right, here we go. So Kina, let's take a look at Kina. Oh, thank you. Whoever just did that.
New Talania podcast when?
Oh, Mr. Damaris, thanks. You know, maybe soon. Maybe soon. I've been talking to Max about it, and Max has been like, hey, when are we gonna do it? So yeah, maybe we do. Maybe we should. All right, so Kina, a dark elf, approaches Orion. I don't know anything about Kina. There's like no description. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna, okay, he brushes his hand. So it seems kind of like creepy and a little like playing games. I don't know. Let me see if I have creepy playing game music. Yeah, this will work. Okay. So Kina says, 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone's knocking at the door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Who could it be this late? Why, it's your old friend, your dearest companion. Kina has made a surprise visit. Death comes and death goes, but I will always remain, for I am born again, newly made, and I have come to reclaim my debt, he said, growing ever closer to Orion. He brushes a hand against his cheek, humming still. He idly tapped his cane on the ground, waiting for a response. How is one supposed to respond to that? Atticus, okay, where's Atticus Lucian? There's other people. Oh, there's a whole crowd of people here. There's a whole crowd. Atticus Lucian, let's look at. There's Atticus. Beautiful name. square-jawed, pleasant-looking man who stands at 5'9". His hair is long and braided with golden beads. Okay. So Atticus says, Wilford's checking the winery. He stops, out of breath as he catches up with Shay. And then he'll meet with us here. Shay would be the first running up the path, a pale elf, highly worried before even coming across the scene, and very fast on his feet. Orion drew his foot back slowly with a shiver. He did not break from Keena's gaze as he approached, and a short gulp followed. I told you, please. I am working on it. He grimaced, doing his best to keep from shaking. Tiwa, you should go. Please. Jasira had been following after Shay, with Anthony getting held onto. Anthony McFarlane, any relation to Seth, would be dragged along, highly confused, as this was his second day in Avos. Can we... Oh, welcome, Anthony McFarlane. Of course you were confused. I love when people add that, like, out-of-character information of, like, what drives their character's thinking. Like, highly confused. Second day in Avos. Similar names. Crocodile Eyes Aaliyah Vershar Kervalen. Eyes started to glow a dark green as she watched. The feline-eyed Tiwari Ikevelen Elmwood. Ooh, these names. I'm getting my voice acting warm-ups in right now. Started trotting forward towards them, her brow furrowed. Ain't no way in hell that's convincing me, lad. Get the folk out. Get the folk out away from Orion this instant. The folk. Tiwa, do not. Please do not come closer. Meanwhile, Edvard Kudvalen says, why are you all even here? This is great. This is great. I'm a fan. All right, let's continue looking at what's going on here. Atticus takes a few cautious steps back. Let me see. Yeah, we'll just play this. Atticus takes a few cautious steps back from the scene, eyes wide. He falls in line next to Wilford. Did we run out of time? It's hard to say what he's referring to, but his voice is a fearful murmur. Ina put his hand on Orion's shoulder, still smiling. Oh, Nerdocalypse, you are scratching my perfectionist itch right now. I hope you know what I'm referencing. It's an LOTC reference. Something about your character, Sprat, the perfectionist, is really evoking that for me. His grip tightened, pulling him in closer. His face would be mere inches away from Orion's as he continued to speak. Tick-tock. The clock moves ever on as I wait, but I am tired of waiting. You have no time left to spare, as you have used it all up. His fingers grew into sharp claws, digging into Orion's skin. Oriel says, okay, what on earth is this? She sighs, leaning upon her staff. Aaliyah moved after Tiwari, mana gathering in her hand. Wilford puts a protective arm around Atticus, his free hand reaching idly for his belt, but he makes no move to attack, seeing all those already in motion. Edvard looks around, the mage connecting to the void while grabbing a bowl from his bag, which is soon filled with conjured popcorn, moving then to find a place to spectate it all. Tiwari says, I said, get the folk away from Orion, you pest! She screamed, continuing forward while her other hand reached down to grab her second sickle. Orion cringed. There needs to be a sound effect for that. Orion cringed as those claws were dug through the fabric of his coat, sinking into flesh and drawing blood. He grit his teeth, straining to try and not show fear. I'm sorry. There must be some way, please. Basira had slowly let go of the man, although then her right palm went up to her necklace, Slowly, she started to shake it. It had started to light up with a glow. Her eyes narrowed. Orion says, "Do not engage him." He sounded desperate, but his voice was hoarse. Oh, I didn't realize, Maple. I was trying to do the stereotypical, like, dwarven, fantasy dwarf accent, but that did sound a bit like Shrek saying, "Get a fork out of my swamp." That's great. And yes, the profanity filter on LOTC working overtime and blurring out the word arse within the word horse. Thank you, chat filter, for doing your work. You do not know what he's capable of. Tawari says, "I don't give a shit." Shay would still be running forth without hesitation, heels clicking against the stone with the herald closing distance as quick as he could. Oriel takes a careful step forward. "Yeah, donkey!" Step forward, a gentle hum rumbling as her face twists into a frown, brows knitted together. Sounds painful. "Orion, is it? What is this? Tell us how we can help." Wilfred says, "Atticus, we need to go. Now." He looks fearfully down at his companion, his eyes dark behind his golden frames as they dart between the scene and the man in red. "They're handling it. We need to go." Anthony would step back a bit, watching the child that dragged him here step forward with a tinge of worry. Anthony McFarlane's is me in this situation. Second day in Avos, doesn't know what's going on. Edvard sinks his hand on the popcorn bowl, grabbing a handful that he moves to his mouth. The Magi makes a meh face as he speaks. "I hate that these conjured popcorns don't even have a bit of salt." This is great. Suddenly, Kina began to scream in pain. From the wrist of his left... What the heck? From the wrist of his left arm grew a long bone, sharp as a sword. Oh no. I need like creepy... Oh, I do have creepy music. A long bone, sharp as a sword, as heavy as steel. He held onto Orion, ever clinging onto him as he tried to stay standing. "Time's up!" he shouted in laughter, getting ready to pierce Orion's chest. Oh, it's happening. Oh my god. Orion, what did you do? Orion, what did you do? Kina was bitten by a Hugh Jackman. Yeah, Kina over here. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is it's getting intense. Meanwhile, yeah, Tawari's dual-wielding sickles over here. Shay would reach the fence post, launching up from it and over the bush, his own arm raising and clicking before the same... What is going... What? Mutants on LOTC. That's going to be the name of this video. Mutants. LOTC mutants. Before the same squelching noise emit from his arm. Similar bone sword emerging from both his elbows for about a meter. A meter? That's 3 feet. Holding them out and aiming to slash Kina down first. As Desira's necklace had continued to charge, it would start to emit an even brighter glow of a periwinkle color, of which Desira had closed her eyes somewhat after. Her left hand went up to her ear to shove her palm against it, as if the screaming had been too much. Orion's hands flew to Kina's that dug deep into his flesh, grasping tight as he tried desperately to free himself from his position. A gasp and shout of despair as he made to semi-shield and semi-pry himself free. Loud sounds could be heard from the distance. A stone golem. What is going on? This is like... And suddenly, Spider-Man arrives. And then... yeah, just the crossover of everything at once. Stone Golem approached the group. Edvard smiled as Volk, the service golem, ran next to him with a small leather pouch. I thought golems had to, like... I thought golems had to speak with, like, emotionless, language, like, in all caps. He gestures towards the bony lad with his chin as he grabs some salt. Oh, this is Edvard. Never mind. I think you all should make something about that. Sprinkles salt over his popcorn. Great. Thanking the golem. Yep. Tuwari sprung forward, holding her sickles across her chest and to the sides before slicing their spiked ends in a cross in front of her towards the bone that appeared. Don't touch Orion! That's a command by the officer of the Lurin Silver Centurions! She roared at them in deep anger. I feel like this accent is not accurate at all, but... Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Nevaya. I need that sound. I hope it's not copyrighted. I'd totally add that sound in. Aaliyah frowned and stepped to the side, trying to keep herself connected. She took a deep breath and then another. A storm. Forming form, her manner. That then sharpened. I can read professionally. Atticus's eyes are fixed on the scene, fearful, cautious, hands shaking, clenched at his sides, and yet he does not move, not forwards, not backward. I'm not running from this one, not now, and not again. And then with a sharp breath, he said, neither of us can. And then as Kina rears upward and everyone moves at once, he winces, hand leaping to his mouth in shock. Yosef yawns, strolling up upon the scene with his hand. So many people are here. Oh, boy kisser, Yosef, sorry. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Hey, Bun Bunny. Poor Anthony McFarlane, meanwhile, is like, what's happening? Oriel says, Oriel says, oh shit, here we go again. She sighs out again, utterly exasperated as she connects. Indigo sparks flying from her staff, swirling and spiraling. Wilford moves instinctually in front of Atticus in an attempt to shield the shorter man with his body in the event something were to happen. Oh boy. The gecko. Whoa, on stream, it's me, Tiwari. Oh, that's you. You haven't heard how I've been voicing your character. I hope you'll forgive me, Gecko. I've been voicing your character like Shrek. Everyone's been saying. Because of how you've been spelling the phonetics of what your character says. So I don't think I can go back far enough to the line that you said. I can't. But when you're like, don't touch Orion! That's a command by the officer of the Lurid Silver Centurions! Just full on, yeah, it's great. Oh, meanwhile. Kina would try to spin Orion around, attempting to use him as a hostage or shield. If he succeeded, he would move back, holding his bone blade to Orion's neck. Attack me and the boy gets it, he said, his grip ever tightening around Orion's shoulder. Shay would potentially cut Orion as Kina tried to use him as a shield. This goes as well for Tiwari. I know, there are so many people here. Let's take a look. Astaroth. It's that name, like, sounds very familiar because it makes me think of Astarion and it makes me think of Azdromoth at the same time. Oriel. Gimbal. Oriel is the picture of a traditional Ahero. She stands at 6'2". What's going on with her eyes, though? Oh, and Anthony McFarlane. New to the server. Shouts to Anthony. Orion was spun off balance in his struggle as the blade was pressed hard against his throat. Perhaps he'd had a chance to escape, but in his distress, such was no more as he visibly winced. The mage grit his teeth hard together, still unwilling to show his terror openly, though it was not well hidden. Were Shay to follow through and strike, it would indeed hit him instead. Uh-oh. And as the necklace shined, did Desira slowly disappear and reappear behind Kino and Orion. Misty Step! Woo woo, Misty Step! That's cool. Amana trailed followed after as the child had now stopped directly behind them. Her eyes had reopened to glance up at the others. Her hands swung back to her side, away from the necklace. Tawari's movement halted in an instant as a look of pure shock and frustration plastered her face. She groaned, taking a single step back, her left hand twitching as her eyes focused in on them. She was not pausing just from this. Yield, pestilence. You're surrounded by strong individuals. You sure you want to bring in Orion's life for your own? She asked threateningly. It's getting real. This is strange. And by the way, too, two people, like, sprouting bone spikes from their arms? What's going on here? Thanks, Gecko. Edvard placed the empty bowl on his back, cleaning his lap from salt and popcorn. Oh, God. The man then grabbed on his staff, being already connected to the void from having connected for... Sorry, what? The man then grabbed on his staff, being already connected to the void from having connected for his popcorn. There we go. With a sigh, Edvard moved closer while a flame sprouted on top of the Ozzel blade, stuck on the top of the wizard's staff, floating right over it, if it was a torch. Okay. Ophanim. A dark elf with a mane of beautiful white hair that shimmers even in the palest moonlight, violet eyes that appear to hold the secrets of 1,000 nights. Woo! Her voice is silky. Oh, Astaroth. Her voice is silky, persuasive even. Yet a hint of mischief is always present. For my sake, don't say a word. I might lose it. Gosh. Shay was, unlike Tawari, unable to stop himself mid-air after his jump to them, panicking and pulling back his arms as to not aim those splintered shards at his friend, instead barreling into Orion's shoulder first, likely knowing him and Kina both over. Meanwhile, Anthony McFarlane, folks, would simply pull out the sword, walking up, looking terrified, but wanted to make sure the child that brought him over didn't get hurt. Anthony McFarlane, the newest member of the Lord of the Crap. Okay, anyway. I'm in love with Anthony McFarlane. Ever since that emote where Anthony said, I'm so confused, it's my second day in Avos. And I'm over here like, same. We stan our king, Anthony McFarlane. Okay. Sir Hannibal's description. Yes, Adele. And you would know too, so. Sir Hannibal, okay. Sir Hannibal. Trying to figure out how I should read this. Should I read it as a poem? I think I should. Oh.
69 bits greater than 69 pots toe.
Yeah. You kind of right. Thank you, Mr. Damaris. Thank you so much. And you're a Nephilim, Sir Hannibal? What does that mean? Okay, Sir Hannibal's description. Let any fish who meet my gaze learn the true meaning of fear, for I am the harbinger of death, the bane of creatures subaqueous. My rod is true and unwavering. As I cast into the aquatic abyss, a man scorned by this uncaring earth finds solace. Nice. I'm a fan. Let's catch up on the RP real quick. As that indigo aura swirled, sparks burst and flew from the tip of the woman's staff, soon bursting into flame. Dope. Roaring above it as she nears, each step cautious and soft. And this is Oriel, I think. I think? Yeah, I think so. We do nay have to do this. In fact, I'd much rather nay. You? What's with the nay? How do I... Is that... What accent is that supposed to be? Because otherwise, all the other words are spelled phonetically what it is. It's Elvish. Oh. Okay. I thought it was trying to mimic a real language. Okay. That makes a lot of sense then. Gecko, I might, but if it involves me clicking off Minecraft, I probably won't right now. You can send it to me, though. I'll look at it. Kina would embrace for impact, his feet in a defensive stance as he held Orion hostage. Should Shay still barrel into the both of them, Kina's bone blade pressed hard on Orion's neck. He grunted in pain as he kept trying to walk off with Orion, still using him as a shield. What did I say? I do not make empty threats. Aaliyah moved even more to the side. Another stone appeared and sharpened. Edvard started walking on his tiptoes, raising his knees high on every step as to avoid making any sound. The fire on top of his head burned was now shaped like a small stag that trotted around the ironwood. Wilford takes a few steps back from Atticus, reaching onto his back and pulling out a fine dark wood crossbow as he turns around to face the scene. Figaro, 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 Figaro. Okay. I see. Okay. Oh, Apollyon's here. It's a familiar character. I think so, Navaya, if you ask me. Tawari's body flared up in a faint purple flame like aura, her cat-like slit eyes straightening into a near-straight vertical line, as an emerald green light faintly shone from them, her face of pure anger and hatred towards Kina. Release him, she ordered coldly. Orion was slammed into, and he staggered as they were knocked, and then he was dragged back. Such hatred the Lord feels now, helpless and weak. Ooh, look at you, lapidary, getting poetic. Why is it that he is the one who always needs saving? The blade cuts ever so slightly in its serrated shape, and the faintest trickle of blood spills down his front, bringing permanent stain to a once pristine white. What do you want, Death? He wheezed. Ooh. Alright, so I think, let me head to Veletz. I'll let this resolve as people are talking about CRP rules and things out of character. Hopefully that gets resolved. And we'll give Astaroth a little boop on the head, and then we'll head to Veletz. Who's in Veletz right now? Okay. The League of Veletz. Oh, wow. Sir Hannibal cleared his throat, marching down the red aisle, hands locked at his lap, as the towering man stepped before Germanicus. His chin beckoned to him. Whoops. Do it, Noxon, I dare you. Stefan Euler pats his favorite bodyguard, Barathor, on the back. Germanicus lowers his gaze upon Hannibal. You, I am not familiar with. State your name for the court, and your ambitions of today. Renilde the First of the Petra checks her pocket watch with a grimace. What? No. Alright, let's take a look here. So we have Lucian. Sub-profits. Great. Richard de Vallon. 6 byte. Okay, let's take a quick little ponder at Germanicus. Cowmoonist. Wave. I'm waving. Okay, who is this? Oh, this is Reinarch, Sir Hannibal. Okay. So Reinarch says, well, let's look at him first. Oh, it's the same dude that we just saw in the other place. Okay. So, he says, Sir Hannibal. The man spake loud and clear. His voice... Notice how this happened earlier. Look, guys. It wants the word horse. It filtered out arse. His voice and crackling as if it had been under strain beforehand. If you recall, I had assisted with guidance after the forces of evil attacked a farmer. He recounted, as is my duty, I have come with new information for the average man to combat these evils who roam the roads. Sir Hannibal gave him a dip of the head. Mystics and their pale knights have become increasingly bold, he explained, thumb gripping his belt. If you see any weak, frail and wispy folk around, perhaps flanked by a stony golem, find safety within the walls. Sir Hannibal says, if you must ever fight this golem, use a blunt weapon. Mine them as you would with a pickaxe. Break away their armor until they bleed. He turned to face the rest of the courtroom, wiping some ash from his gloved hand. Remember, if it bleeds, you can kill it. So where are we? Euler Max? Oh my god. Euler Max. Hold on. Euler Max. A pitch black carbonated drink contained in a black glass bottle. The drink itself fizzes violently on your tongue, tasting of sugar and caffeine. Oh, drinking it reinvigorates you and fuels you with energy. However, it's also terribly addicting. The bottle itself is stout and has an ornate black label with a tagline attached under the name of the drink. Max out your day. It's followed by a smaller bit of text. Euler and Brothers Brewery. Great. You're welcome, Izora. Ooh, Kina Feta. Kina Feta. What music do I have? Kina Feta. A chilled dagger with a dark 7-inch long and 3-inch wide blade, which comes to a sharp fine point. A cold grayish blue hue. A fuller reaching down its length. What's a fuller? Along with the silver etchings of vines wrapping down both faces of the blade. How do you guys get so good at describing stuff? This is Like, as a dungeon master, I'm not even... This is cool. At the base of the blade is a blossoming rose head etched into it, along with the date 1894. The Aurum crossguard reaches out to the sides of the dagger. This is very long. Wow. Chilled to the touch. This item follows Rocodra redlines. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's very dope. I'm a fan. Sir Hannibal says, additionally, there's been some concerning reports over roaming vampires. He drawled, removing a white... Oh, sorry, let me do this one more time. Additionally, there has been some concerning reports over roaming vampires. Vampires. Nosferatu! Open them up, preferably a vampire opener such as an Aurum blade. Simply sprinkle the salt inside of the wound, and you shall know if it be a vampire or nay. For those who want it, I have an extra bag of salt for you. This is great. All right, let's go back to... Laurent. And I know Lapidary's back there. That's where we're gonna go. Good luck with your court, with your vampire huntings. And I hope to see you soon. Oh. Someone wanted to show me something? Sure, Gaja, show me your item. I'm coming back to you. It's okay. You running to try to catch up with me? Just stay where you're at. Oh, you're running to your home to grab it. I see. I'll wait outside. Digging in your basement for an item. Oh, Angelics. Did you Oh, yeah, no, I'll still read it. I'll still read it here. It's okay. As Kina would turn, the both of them, Orion was nearly set on... What is going on? Orion was nearly set on fire, and then shortly after struck in the shoulder. The earthen spike aimed for Kina's hand, missing. Was it a scream that escaped him? His ears were ringing, and if that was the noise he made, Orion had no way to tell. Oh boy. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Eulersberg moonflower seeds. A packet of seeds sealed in a small paper bag that is marked with a friendly turtle. Oh. Despite the wholesome packaging and inconspicuous name, this is one of the most dangerous psychoactive narcotics one can partake in. These come from Datura inoxia and have been carefully cultivated by the Eulers to minimize its overall toxicity while keeping its extreme effects. The seeds come with a piece of paper listing side effects and situations when taking these seeds is not a good idea. Among the side effects, shadow people and unspeakable horrors catch your eye. The paper also says to never take them when in a bad mental state. Take at your own peril. Cool. Good to know. Moonflower seeds I will stay away from. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. Or Stefan, sorry. And now, I will return to this terrifying situation. Oh God. You guys are still trying to figure out who can and who can't be a part of the combat? It's so silly. Tawari says, oh, Tawari's flaming aura suddenly engulfed the both of Tawari and Orion, as their bodies would cease to exist physically in an instant. Kino's grip losing something to hold on to as Orion's body was no longer there. What? Tawari's group teleportation sent the two to the front door of the mansion, where Tawari had before placed her aura flames as an anchor. Wow. Orion disappeared and was rescued shortly from his perilous position. When he reappeared by the doors, he sunk over onto his knees. Kina would lose grip of Orion, his face turning to a hint of fear. He began to run as fast as he could towards the ocean, the blades missing as Shay distracted Edvard. And this is this the same? This is the same. No, Tawari's the one that sounds like Shrek. Oh, Kina's the bad guy. That's right. Okay.
You will meet your maker, Orion. You will meet me at the gates of hell.
And runs off. I love how we so calmly discuss, you know, I like Matt. Some good respect to Bun Bunny as Bun Bunny says, "Hey, question for you. Would my blade make it into your persona's kneecap? And if so, would it maybe lower your running pace?" I mean, I mean, that is the way you're supposed to ask, but I just think it's funny that, like, as players, we have to talk about our characters this way. Desira tried to dig her dagger into the back of your persona's kneecaps. Just asking. Your kneecaps, I hit them. You should be slowed. Anyway. How's Anthony McFarlane doing? Anthony, you good? A high elf wood elf hybrid with an accent like a human ranch hand. Oh my god. Depending on the day you catch him, he can be real nice or real mean. I'm here for you, Anthony McFarlane. You're my new favorite character. Anthony McFarlane, second day on Avos. Asira grunted, her dagger had been pulled backwards. Her fingers continued to grip onto the handle of the dagger with her right palm, while her left then went to raise and press against the solid surface of the wall. The child went to hop right over the wall to try to follow after Kina in a similar jogging pace. Of course, she was slowed after the hop over as she regained her proper and aligned steps. I'd love to hear it, GLaDOS. Wilfred grabs Atticus by the sleeve.
He's safe now. We need to leave, please.
His expression's pleading, panicked as he looks down to the other man. His breathing is quick, and his hold on the sleeve is tight.
I can handle it from here.
Shay stopped in his effort to subdue Edvard, whipping his head around and scanning the area as Kina took flight away from the scene without his hostage.
Orion? Orion?
Alright, yeah, it looks like it's resolved. Oh, that's awesome, Ryan. Orion sunk down onto his side with an audible groan. Was it over? It most certainly wasn't, and the threat loomed ever more present now. Where was he injured? The pain was all fading into background noise. I like that. What's your guys' opinion on Oh yeah, Bun Bunny, it's Orion. Because you gotta say the I. The I's not silent. It's not Oron. Odd? No, that's how you usually say it. Like the Orion Belt. That's an asteroid belt in our solar system. It's very odd. Bun Bunny, get with the program. That's how you say it. Anyway, what's your guys' opinion on emotes that also describe, like, the diegetic environment? That could be one way to say it. Where it's like how lapidary emotes and says, like, almost like describes, like, his inner thoughts and what's going on. I like it because I think it makes it more like a book, more like a novel. Because too often we only get what is happening in the world. And then I like when people, like, let us into their characters' minds. I think it's cool. Thanks, Mauve. I do my best. Okay. Tawari says, wait. And Tawari's Trek. Got it. I needed to remember. Tawari says,
Orion's here.
I don't need to make her voice so deep, though.
Orion's here,
she muttered, starting to calm down just a bit, while her still tightly slit pupils never let go on Kino's location, making sure Orion continued to be safe as she loomed over him like a hen mother.
Now, you have more of a reason to start your translocation lessons, Orion.
And Kina keeps running, full sprint away from the situation.
Remember the name! Remember Renee? Reen? Renee? Remember it!
He shouted, the black speech sounding like nails on a chalkboard to all who were not used to it. Oh. Interesting. Not gonna remember. Yeah, everyone's like, sorry, could you yell that one more time? I didn't get the pronunciation. Is it Renee? No, I think it's Reen. Orion's body shuddered at the sound. Edvard kept walking as the fire on top of his staff turned once more into a miniature stag. Hitting the floor with the wood, the fire stag flew towards Kina's head. Uh-oh. Atticus glances at Orion and Shay almost desperately. He lets out a sigh when he sees that Orion is safe, though still tense. He looks injured. Saints. Should we run for a medic? Starting to leap steps 2 at a time towards the rescued man, skidding around the turn and almost falling before allowing himself to drop to his knees, trying to gauge his injuries, and turning his head and yelling, Medic! Asira had continued to run forward to stay side to side with Edvard. Oh, they might catch him, though? Maybe I should stay. She seemed to not hold any fear. Courage coursing through the child. Oops. As she continued with her dagger still by her right hip, gaining speed and distance upon the grown man whom had been running away. A stone spike has been embedded in Orion's shoulder, the opposite shoulder filled with small punctures from Kina's claws. The thin wound along his throat continued to leak faint chrisman. We'll pull the giveaway when we finish whatever it is we're doing. Tawari says,
Aaliyah, can we get some assistance here? We need to get Orion treated.
She called out, staying by Orion's side with her sickles in hand. Aaliyah moved up to the edge to send her final spike at the running Stranfur stranger. I'll get him healed. I know, Bun Bunny. You're right. Anthony McFarlane, everyone! Anthony McFarlane would also run forward, turn around to underhand toss his medic bag up and over to the group behind him. We love Anthony McFarlane here. Alright. Is Anthony... We need to get Anthony in the stream. Where's... Does Anthony even know how much of an icon he is? Anthony McFarlane. It took that single emote for me to fall in love with Anthony McFarlane.
Kina would keep wanting the projectile of flame hitting his hair, lighting it aflame. The final earth spike would miss as Kina ducked his head now that his hair was on fire. He made his way ever closer to the ocean.
They're gonna catch him. They're gonna catch him. Maybe, maybe not. 3 times, Navaya? Oh my god. God. Alright. Okay. I could be here forever, so let's call it there. Oh. Why did I just trigger a helicopter sound? Excuse me, that was very strange. Anyway. So that's that. We are going to play Baldur's Gate 3 in a bit. And here's what's going to happen. Alright, the winner of this one for a game on my list of games is a person whose username goes by Navaya. Congratulations! You've won the giveaway. You've won a game on my game list.
demand a new podcast episode.
I know. Yeah, we gotta do it. Nevaeh, are you here? Nevaeh. Nevaeh. Nevaeh, where'd you go? Nevaeh. Did you leave? Nevaeh.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, I have to pull the giveaway, and I have a rule, like if they're not here to claim it. So I'll until the end of this timer. And then I'm gonna roll it again for the people who are present. Okay. Alright, well, it looks like they're not here.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Alright, that means we're gonna roll the giveaway again. So that means that the true winner, wait! Nevaeh! Nevaeh! Yeah, we've been trying to get a hold of you for like 5 minutes. I was literally about to give it to someone else. Okay, I gotta honor that. You come in like literally, like the sound was playing. I was like, yeah, you get it. I'm still gonna honor it. Yeah, you made it just in time. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I'll honor it. That's funny.